Lodge. Okay, I'm just going to bring back on Maxine and Maruf. There is an individual who's actually been doing a lot of work for the struggle of Kashmir, Jammu Kashmir. So we want to actually say a few words around that.
First of all, I would say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart that you have been able to make this protest and march for the people of Kashmir and for the people of Palestine. The people of Kashmir have been suffering exactly the same way the Palestinians have been suffering and crying out for their freedom and the right of self-determination, have a state where they can nurture their children, where they can be prosperous exactly the same way in Kashmir. Both in Kashmir, when you see the history of Kashmir, from 1947 until now, since 1947, 74 years, the people of Kashmir have been fighting for the right of self-determination. And this right has been promised by the United Nations, by the international community, but it has fallen deaf on the states who are the nuclear states. They have been able to spend thousands and thousands of pounds, 67–70% of their GDP for defense, but they were unable to spend less than 3% on education and health. The people of the region, the people of India, the people of Pakistan, the people of Jammu and Kashmir, they deserve prosperity, they deserve education, they deserve world-class health where they can bring up their children in a free environment. But unfortunately, both states have been able to deny the basic right for the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Both states are nuclear states, and it will be very, very difficult for them to bring on the table. They have entered into a treaty that the Kashmir is a bilateral issue. It's not the international issue. It's shame the Kashmiri people were not the party to that treaty. The Kashmiri people were not on the table. Until now, the Kashmiri people are not on the table to decide their future, how they are going to keep their state, whether it's independent, whether to join India or Pakistan. I think now is the time the international community and the people of this country, our government, put pressure on Pakistan, put pressure on India to make sure that the international community made that promise that the people should have right of self-determination. Now is the time to give that self-determination to the people of Kashmir so they can make their decision. As a result, not ensuring the right of self-determination, the Indian paramilitary forces have landed in Kashmir on 27th of October 1947. They have been able to keep brutal occupation since then. They have killed more than 100,000 people. They have been able to rape the women as a tool to control. They have been able to put people in mass grave. They have been able to put children in the graveyard and in the tiny coffins. Since how long is it going to take more when people, the international community will open their eyes to make sure that the people of Kashmir get the justice and get the right of self-determination. I'm not going to take much time off you. Once again, I'm going to say thank you very much, my brothers and sisters, and thank you very much to Sisters for Kashmir who have been able to put such a wonderful event in this weather. And I'm also grateful to Palestine Solidarity Campaign. I'm grateful to Sheffield Trade Union Congress. I'm grateful to Sheffield Kashmir Solidarity Campaign, and all of you who have been able to put such a wonderful event. I'm so grateful to Paul as well, who have been able to make. Before I go, in this city of Sheffield, somebody arrived in 1976, I understand. His name was Professor Abdul Hassan Asim. He was the gold medalist from Karachi University, who came here to study education in University of Birmingham. Then he was able to carry the flag for Kashmir. He was able to fly the flag for the freedom and for the justice of Kashmiri people. He was educationist. He was a mentor. He was able to find. He was the founder of Sheffield Girls College which the people of Sheffield and Rotherham have been able to build for the people of Kashmir, for the girls. He's here. In May, he was passed away. He is lying in Sheffield City Cemetery. But the legacy he left for the Kashmiri people, the legacy he left for all people who love democracy, for all people who believe in justice, for all people who believe in human rights, this was the man. Can I call upon to all of you, in memory of all the martyrs, in memory of all the people who have been fighting for the right of self-determination, justice and democracy, alongside this man, can I ask if we can have 1 minute silence observation for this wonderful man who have been able to teach us how to stand up for justice, how to stand up for human rights. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, as the weather's not looking good, so without further ado, I'm going to ask our local MP, Paul Blomfield, to come forward and say a few words, please.
I think Nigat's right. This is not the weather for long speeches, but I'm delighted to be here to support causes that's brought everybody with it together today. And also I'd like to start by thanking Nigat in particular, but all the Sisters of Kashmir for taking the initiative in organising today's event, because it is so important that we use every opportunity to bring focus on the struggle in Kashmir and in Palestine. I think it's also worth remembering, as we gather here, the other struggles around the world. The ongoing war, which has brought millions to the point of destitution and starvation in Yemen. The struggle of the Rohingya in Myanmar. The Uyghur in China. And the devastating humanitarian crisis that is unfolding in Afghanistan as a result of the mismanaged withdrawal from that country. But Kashmir is an issue which is regularly raised by many of us in Parliament. Only a month ago we had a debate on the floor of the House of Commons. Sadly I wasn't able to be there because I'm leading Labour's team fighting the anti-refugee bill.